are XX dash, XX dash 3, XX dash 5, XX dash 7. In the central atom is less electronegative. For example, in ClF3, Cl is less electronegative than fluorine. In BrF3, in IF7, in all interhalogen compounds, central atom is of low electronegativity. They are powerful halogenating agents. They are used as non-aqueous solvents like water. Water is an aqueous solvent. If you don't want water, interhalogen compounds, liquids can be used as solvents. They are useful fluorinating agents. Structures of interhalogen agents, interhalogen compounds are very important. What is the shape of BrF3? It is a AB3E2 type molecule, sp3d hybridization, T shape. Will the reaction of fluorine or... Yes, sir. Hello? Hello, sir. Any doubt? Hello?
No doubt.
Sir, the interhalogen compounds are a formula XX-1, they are linear. If you are looking at ClF, BrF, IF, BrCl, ICl, only iodine chloride appears to be a solid at room temperature. All other XX type interhalogen compounds are either they are gases. Only ICl has a ruby red color in alpha form and brown red color in beta form. IBr is black solid. All others other than IBr, ICl, those which don't have iodine with chlorine and bromine, they are all gases. If he is having very less, if he is so unstable, if means IF. Okay, if I am looking at XX-3 type, AB3 type interhalogen compounds, I notice that ICl3 is an orange solid and IF3 is a yellow powder. Notice only when there is iodine with fluorine and chlorine, then only they are solids. Others are either liquids or gases. Notice that AB3 type interhalogen compound has a T-shape. Hybridized state of central atom is sp3d. It is AB3E2 type molecule. If you look at XX-5, notice that all XX-5, they are more covalent and they are either liquids at room temperature or gases, there is no solid. And as a rule, if the number of halogen atoms are increasing, they become more and more covalent, and covalent compounds are like more gases. IF7 is essentially a gas. Notice, last one is only gas. Last but one, maximum can be liquid at room temperature. And then XX-3, only ICl3, IF3 are solids. And in XX- type, either ICl or IBr are solids at room temperature. As the number of halogen atoms increase, they become more and more covalent. Notice the shape of XX-7, IF7 is pentagonal bipyramid. Hybridized state of central atom is sp3d3. XX-5 is AB5E1 type molecule. Hybridized state is sp3d2. Square pyramidal is shape. So last one is pentagonal bipyramid. Last but one is square pyramid. And the second one is a T-shape. First one is essentially linear. Are we very clear about their shape, sir? Hello?
Yes.
Thank you very much for seeing their shapes. Notice they can be made by direct interaction of halogens under different conditions by varying the amounts of ferrous. For example, if you are taking bromine and excess of fluorine, you are getting BrF5. If you are taking bromine and a less amount of fluorine diluted with water, you will be getting BrF3. So it depends on the ratios, different interhalogen compounds you get. Notice, fluorine will never make oxyacids because fluorine can never take positive oxidation state. There are oxyacids of chlorine, namely HOCl hypochlorous acid, HClO2 chlorous acid, HClO3 chloric acid, HClO4 perchloric acid. Notice that HOF cannot be taken as oxy acid because here fluorine is negative and O is positive. Though it is hypofluorous acid, strictly it is not any oxy acid. That is the only compound fluorine can give. In all other oxy acids, essentially oxygen gets minus charge. Notice that the number of oxy acids made by chlorine are many. And now most acidic acid is HClO4. More is the number of oxygens, more is the acidic strength. In any oxy acid of halogen, the number of pi bonds, they are d pi p pi bonds, is 1 less than the number of oxygens. Notice, in HOCl, there is no d pi p pi bond. In HClO2, there is 1 d pi p pi bond. In HClO3, there are 2 d pi p pi bonds. In HClO4, there are 3 d pi p pi bonds. Okay, sir? We notice that the gold is not soluble in any DAM acid, but it is soluble in a mixture of concentrated nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. 3:1 mixture of
Sir,
nitric
DAM acid
acid. Sir?
DAM acid means, sir?
Any
DAM acid.
DAM acid, any DAM fellow. DAM means that is simply a word I use.
Sorry.
It has no particular meaning. Any particular acid, any individual acid, gold and platinum are not soluble, but they are soluble in a mixture of 3:1 mixture of concentrated nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. The 3:1 mixture of nitric acid HCl is called as aqua regia. Notice in aqua regia you have 3 parts of HCl, 1 part of nitric acid. 3:1 mixture. Notice that in aqua regia, the gold dissolves because it undergoes oxidation to give tetrachloroaurate ions. Platinum similarly gives hexachloroplatinate ions. And notice that gold is in a +3 state in AuCl4 minus, platinum is in +4 state in PtCl6. Mind you that in either the case of gold or platinum dissolving in aqua regia, you are getting NO as one of the product. Have you noticed it, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed? Notice this, the HCl is a good acid actually. It can react with many salts to give NaCl and CO2 in case of Na2CO3, NaSCO3, SO2 in case of Na2SO3. Ammonia happily reacts with HCl to give white dense fumes of ammonium chloride, and HCl is a very good acid. Its Ka is 10 to the power 7. Greater is Ka, stronger is the acidic strength. You can happily prepare HCl even at your home by adding concentrated sulfuric acid to table salt. There's a note on that. Ladies and gentlemen, reactions of chlorine with NaOH are important. I call them as disproportionation reactions. Notice when chlorine reacts with hot NaOH, 3 moles of chlorine react with half a dozen moles of NaOH to give sodium chlorate NaClO3. Cl is +5 and NaCl. Very interesting to note that in this reaction, out of 6 Cls, 1 fellow is losing 5 electrons. 5 fellows are taking 1 electron each. Total number of electrons involved in the transfer is 5 out of 6 Cls. If you want to know equivalent weight, total number of atoms undergoing change divided by total number of electrons involved in the chain. Atomic weight of 6 Cls divided by 5. That is the equivalent weight. When the chlorine reacts with cold NaOH, you get only NaCl and NaOCl. You should learn definitely the uses of chlorine. In fact, there are IIT bits in previous question papers. Phosgene is a gas of formula COCl2 that was used by Adolf Hitler to kill thousands of people. Tear gas and mustard gas, they have formula like CCl3NO2 tear gas, Cl, CH2CH2, yes, CH2CH2Cl. It is like dichloroethyl thioether. That was mustard gas. Last three gases were used by Adolf Hitler in Second World War to kill people. These were the poisonous gases developed in Second World War. You know, chlorine is used for disinfecting water, sterilizing drinking water, and chlorine has many important uses in manufacture of medicines and pesticides. Chlorine is used in the extraction of precious metals like gold and platinum. It is also used in cleaning paper in paper industry, fabric in the yarn industry. Students should be familiar with the oxidizing properties of chlorine, where chlorine is taking away electrons from metal ions. Ferrous will lose one electron again to chlorine to give ferric. Sulfite will lose electrons to chlorine to become sulfate. Sulfur dioxide will lose electrons to chlorine in water to become sulfuric acid. Iodine loses electrons to chlorine to become iodic acid, HiO3. These reactions need to be practiced. And notice that chlorine reacts with water to give HCl, HOCl. That HOCl is responsible for bleaching action of chlorine. Chlorine can react with hydrocarbons like methane to give methyl chloride, ethene to give 1,2-dichloroethane. Reaction between alkene and chlorine is addition. Reaction of alkane and chlorine is substitution. So students need to practice one very important reaction. They asked 4 times in IIT entrance. What happens when excess of ammonia reacts with chlorine? When excess of ammonia reacts with chlorine, you get ammonium chloride and N2. When excess of chlorine reacts with ammonia, you get NCl3. NCl3 is used as an explosive.
Sir, which reaction can you take here?
This reaction with ammonia and chlorine was asked many times. What happens if excess of ammonia reacts with chlorine? What happens when excess of chlorine reacts with ammonia? If ammonia is excess, you get N2 gas and ammonium chloride. If chlorine is excess, you get NCl3 and HCl. Okay. And now notice that the reactions of chlorine with many compounds like hydrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and this is camphene, you will be getting always hydrogen going out with Cl as HCl. And other fellow, for example, in H2S, sulfur is left out. In C10, H16, carbon is left out. In all these reactions, chlorine is a powerful oxidizing agent. With aluminum, you get aluminum chloride, LaCl3, NaCl, FeCl3. Phosphorus gives PCl3, sulfur gives H2Cl2. All these are typical reactions of chlorine, where it is taking away electrons from metals and non-metals. We should know that chlorine is 2.5 times. It is 2.5 times, not 2 to 5 times. Chlorine is 2.5 times, 1/2 times heavier than air. This is how chlorine is prepared by oxidation of HCl using oxygen and copper chloride catalyst. So we have learned about this. You have to read the NCERT book thoroughly, and no excuse, you have to read it thoroughly. Now, we have concluded the halogens. Now I want to speak very briefly about this last unit. It is very simple. The air is having some unknown gases called helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. It was noticed in 1900 itself. But today those gases are known to be noble gases. They are in the 18th group or 0 group. These helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon are having several names. They are rare gases because relatively they were rare. They are called aerogens because they are obtained from air. You know, in air, what is the most abundant gas after nitrogen and oxygen? Air has nitrogen, air has oxygen. After nitrogen and oxygen, which gas is there in air large quantity means argon, 1%. Do you know argon in air is 33 times more than CO2? CO2 is very less, 0.03%. Argon is 33 times more than CO2 in air. So notice there is a radioactive element called a radon. Radon is in which group, sir? Hello?
18th group.
Radon, RA, radon is in which group? Hello. Which group, sir? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. Radium is there in the second group.
Second group.
The elements are second group. So, yeah, elements are second group. Hanji, radon, not radon, radium, I'm sorry. Radium, which is there in second group, like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. This is the second group element. When the second group element undergo a decay by radioactivity, it gives two noble gases, radon and helium. Which element on radioactive decay gives two noble gases? That is radium, which is belonging to second group. Notice, radon is very, very less available. It is not there in air. Radon is the only noble gas not present in air. In air, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon are there. By weight, the lowest amount of noble gas present by weight in air is helium. The lowest amount of gas available by volume in air is xenon. But more or less they are there. In air, most available noble gas is argon. So these are the noble gases. Notice their names are given by some related terms. Helium name was given from Helios because on a solar eclipse day, the helium gas was first identified by Johnny's son in sun. Hence, sun was known as Helios. So the name helium was given based on the name of sun. Neon means new. In air, originally argon was discovered. Argon means lazy. Whatever they originally thought argon was later on found to contain a new noble gas that is called neon. And then later on, another gas, krypton, one more gas, xenon, were also discovered. All these names are related to some words in Latin and they have their meaning. All the noble gases are in zero group. It is called zero group because these elements have general valence is 0. They don't want to combine with others. Their valence electrons are 8 and they are happy. Only helium is not having any p electrons. Just it is having 1s2 electrons. Actually, helium is to be kept in s block. But because of its inertness, nobleness, it is kept in noble gases in 18th group. Hence, helium is called misplaced element, but it is very inert. If you look at the down a group, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, atomic numbers, atomic mass are increasing. And then the electronic configuration, except for helium, all are ns2np6. The atomic radius is increasing, ionization enthalpy is decreasing. Their electron gain enthalpies all are positive. They don't want to take electrons. They repel the external electrons. Their densities are increasing down. Their solubilities in water slightly increase. Their melting points will increase. Their boiling points will increase. And their atmospheric content vary differently by volume. Notice that the noble gases, because they have fully filled valence orbitals, they are found to be very unreactive. There is a lot of story about their discovery, but at this point of time, I am not able to tell. The helium can be liquefied at a very low temperature. The liquid helium is very strange. Normally, any matter, if you throw, it will go down. If you pour water from glass, it will flow down. Hello? Hello? Sir, the noble gases, I'm talking about helium. Sir, if you are releasing helium, liquid helium from a glass, it will not flow down, it will flow up. It is a very strange behavior of helium. You understand? That's why it is called an anomalous liquid. Here they wrote, you see. Helium has the lowest boiling point of any known substance. It has an unusual property of diffusing through most commonly used laboratory materials such as rubber, glass, plastic. Another interesting property is the liquid helium, if you pour, it will not flow down. Instead, it will flow up. You understand?
Yes.
All the noble gases were found to be very unreactive because of their high ionization energies and no interest to take electrons and stability. So it was thought that noble gases don't make compounds. Some people try to take phenol and keep the argon gas under high pressure and solidify. Then the argon gas atoms were trapped in the crystals of phenol. They said that they are clathrate compounds. Clathrate means case. They kept like you put a parrot in a case, like argon atoms are kept in a cage of phenol. But they are not really compounds. And there are no chemical bonds in them, just only van der Waals attraction. So, in the year 1962, there is a gentleman called Bartlett. That gentleman was once preparing accidentally a compound of formula O2PTF6, dioxygenyl hexafluoroplatinate. What is that compound, sir? Hello? Dioxygenyl. Hello, are you there?
Sir,
Hello?
we are here.
Yes, sir, we are here.
Yes, sir, yes.
This compound O2PTF6 is called dioxygenyl hexafluoroplatinate. In this compound, O2 has plus charge. Sir, normally from an atom you can shave electron. But it is very difficult to take away electron from a molecule like O2. The energy required to take away electron from O2 molecule, ionization energy of O2 molecule is very high. It is 1175 kilojoules per mole. But he could just make it in the laboratory simply. It is an orange red color solid. Then he got an idea. In this reaction, if O2 is losing an electron, why xenon cannot lose? Because xenon first ionization energy is a little less than this. Then immediately instead of oxygen, he tried to make similar compound with xenon. And he got XePTF6, where Xe is +1 and Pt is +5. He called this compound as, it must be xenon hexafluoroplatinate. Simply obtained this compound by mixing PTF6 with the xenon. Then he rushed to nearest Organon National Laboratory in Michigan and asked, what is the formula, please find out. They found out that, in fact, it is the compound of xenon. This is the first noble gas compound. Up till 1962, people were thinking noble gases can't make compounds, and Bartlett made the first noble gas compound, for which he was given Nobel Prize. Notice that helium and neon don't make any compounds. Krypton makes few compounds. Most of the noble gas compounds are formed by xenon because its ionization energy is somewhat less. By mixing xenon with most electronegative elements like fluorine, oxygen, under special conditions, you can make compounds. Only most electronegative elements can combine with xenon, not others. If you vary the ratio of fluorine and xenon under different conditions and different temperatures, you can make XeF2, XeF4, XeF6. And by reacting XeF4 with dioxygen fluoride, O2F2, which has an open book-like structure, you can get XeF6. All these xenon fluorides are colorless crystalline solids at room temperature. They can easily go to gaseous state just at 25 degrees centigrade. They are very powerful fluorinating agents. In water, if you observe, xenon fluoride in water will break down to give xenon. It has a tendency to become xenon because xenon is naturally stable. It is evolving oxygen gas. The hydrolysis of XeF2 gives xenon, but hydrolysis of XeF4 is very important. Sir, hydrolysis of XeF4 is very important. That has appeared in IIT mains exam many times. Hydrolysis means reaction with water. When half a dozen XeF4 reacts with a dozen water molecules, you are getting two, xenon and XeO3. In xenon is in zero oxidation state. In XeO3, xenon is in +6 state. Notice XeF4 has Xe in +4. +4 xenon is becoming 0 xenon and +6 xenon. Disproportionation. Notice XeF4 can undergo disproportionation. Only XeF4 undergo disproportionation. When XeF6 is undergoing oxidation, hydrolysis, you are getting XeO3. XeO3 means xenon is +6. In XeF6 +6, in XeO3 also +6. It is not oxidation. It is not reduction. Simply hydrolysis. Only XeF4 undergo disproportionation. Students should practice these reactions. You should write each reaction 10 times because they are asking frequently what happens when XeF2 reacts with water, XeF4 reacts with water, XeF6 reacts with water. Also notice the xenon fluoride when reacts with PF5, phosphorus pentafluoride, XeF2 will become XeF plus and PF5 will become PF6, a kind of ionic compound. XeF4 reacts with antimony pentafluoride, again it will become XeF3 plus SbF6 minus. It means they can lose F minus. Can you see that? The xenon fluorides can lose F minus to give corresponding positive ions. They can give F minus to the metal fluorides where metal can be sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. It can be even antimony and phosphorus. Students should practice that. What is of some interest is their structures. Everybody knows that XeF2 is a Ab2E3 type molecule, sp3d hybridization, linear. Everybody knows that XeF4 is a square planar molecule, Ab4E2 type. Hybridization of central element is sp3d2, square planar. And hybridization of xenon in XeF6 is sp3d3, it is distorted octahedral. In IITG, they asked what is the structure of Xe4O. Xe4O is a square pyramid molecule, and XeO3, XeO4 both have xenon in sp3 hybridized state. XeO3 is pyramidal, XeO4 is tetrahedral. Students should practice their structures which we learned in our lower class, in our 11th class. Also, it is of some interest to see the uses of noble gases. Here, there is an interesting idea. Nowadays, people are going for CT scan, MMR scan, magnetic resonance imaging, all they are going for around hospitals. In these instruments, some noble gases like helium are used. When you want to jump into steep sea for exploring, you can't take direct oxygen. You will take a mixture of oxygen and helium. If you take pure oxygen and jump into bottom of sea, due to high pressure, more oxygen will dissolve in blood. When you come out, the excess of oxygen dissolved will gush out and we will die. To prevent excessive solubility of oxygen in blood, you mix it with helium before diving into deep sea waters. The neon, argon, etc. gases are filled in bulbs, the routine bulbs to give, especially neon lights will give beautiful colors for advertisement purpose. So students are requested to cover up to noble gases. You can expect questions from noble gases like hydrolysis of XeF4, XeO4.
Sir, NCERT की book है?
Only NCERT is enough for P block. NCERT book plus exemplar. So I am telling you, you can expect questions like, what is the first prepared noble gas compound? XePTF6. What is most explosive in noble gas compounds? XeO3, XeO4. What is the shape of XeO4 tetrahedral? What happens when XeF4 is kept in water? It undergoes disproportionation. What is the product when XeF2 reacts with water? what happens to solubility of noble gases as you go down? Which element gives two noble gases by radioactive decay? Which is most abundant noble gas in air? So on. So try to read this. It is very simple. And this is a P block. Now, any question that came in P block, you can answer, provided if you read the NCERT. It is not really difficult. It has no logic much. It has no mathematical formulae. Simple data. So that's the lesson called P block. Tomorrow we make review questions on this. We try to see as many questions as appeared in last few years IIT exams in this topic. I hope you have appreciated the content. The syllabus for weekend exam is only halogens and noble gases. After completing this, tomorrow we revise the questions in previous exams. Then Monday we start a new chapter. Okay, sir?
Sir, where should we study from for this Sunday exam?
I again told you, you read NCERT, nothing else is needed. NCERT
Sir,
and exam.
NCERT, okay, sir. Sir, NCERT we get
Even questions you will get from
Sunday.
cut copy paste from textbook. Also do exemplar problems. Okay. I have shared
ये
that.
एग्जाम आ रहा.
Exemplar problems I have sent now.
Okay, sir.
Actually, this time I made the question paper out of my own brain. I did not consult any book. So you can read 7th chapter, this P block elements, you can read textbook. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.